Hi everyone, it's Miss Kate.
And Miss Hazel.
Today we're going to learn about a lot of things. We're going to learn about shades and tints and geometric and organic shapes. Isn't that fun? So first I will show you the end result of what we're going to do. We're going to make this, and monochromatic. That was my other word I was thinking of. We're going to make something that looks like this. So when we're done with the painting, it can look something like this. But what we'll start with is a piece of plain paper. We're going to make some shapes. So some geometric shapes are things like triangles and squares, circles, rectangles, octagons, things like that. And then organic shapes are more like swirly things that maybe you see like an amoeba would be more like an organic shape. So we're going to, I actually will draw a circle on this. Probably should have done this in Sharpie so you could see it a little bit better. But I'm going to draw a few geometric shapes and then draw some more organic-y shapes here. Oh, thanks, Miss Hazel. I just want you to be able to see. You wouldn't use Sharpie on yours, but just so you could see it on here. I am going to paint over these, but this will probably show through. Now my fun shapes like this are just sort of all over the place. And you could use, I have a ruler next to me if I wanted to use a ruler. Okay, now that I have some shapes on here, we're going to get out the paint. So I've chosen blue as my base color. So we have blue, and then I have a container for a tint and a shade. So to make a tint, I'm going to add some blue into here, and then I'm going to add some white paint to that. And that will lighten it up, which is why it's called a tint. I'm not going to add too much white. And then the funny thing about the, I don't know if you can see that very well. So there's my tint. Mix that up. And if I need to make more, I can just make more. My shade, I learned something when I was doing this earlier that I need to be much more careful with how much black I add. Because if I just pour black in like I just did with the white, it becomes very, very dark. So I'm just going to take a little less than a paintbrush full to mix in there. I'm going to put that back in my blue so I don't mix those up. And now I'm going to mix that black into my blue, which will create a darker blue.
So that's a tint if it's darker, Miss
It's
Kate?
a shade. So shade, if you think about it, to remember, a shade is when something's darker, and a tint is when it's lighter. But you can think of that if you looked at your, if you had shade in your yard to shade yourself from the sun, it's a little bit darker there. So that's a good way to remember that. Of course, now I want a little bit more black. I mean, a little bit more. Okay, so now we'll start painting. And now you can paint however you want, which is another fun part of this. So, for instance, I may just paint inside my rectangle-ish, because it's not really a square.
Is your goal to cover your whole page, Miss Kate?
My goal is to cover the whole page, but I am the artist of this one, and someone else may choose not to do that because you can do that. You can decide just how much you want to put on yours, which is another really great thing about art. So see, these are all blue. And then the monochromatic part that I mentioned earlier is that it's all blue. I'm not putting any other color. So mono means one, and then the chromatic is about the color. So there's one color in this painting. And then I would just keep painting. I would also decide that I did not want to have the similar colors touch each other. So I would make sure, for instance, that I was using the shade. I wouldn't do two shades next to each other is what I was trying to say. And because I covered my table with my workspace with another layer of paper, I can paint all around. I don't have to worry about damaging anything that I have, because I can just take this piece of paper off when I'm done. So I would keep painting until I was completely covered. My paper was completely covered, not really me, because that would be silly. But I will keep going. And then when it's dry, like this one is, I'm going to move that over there to dry, I would then turn it over. And I'm going to draw some lines on it because I think that'll be easier for cutting. So I'm using this ruler to cut some lines, to draw some lines so that I can cut easily. I am not making them exact. If you would like to measure out your page and make each piece exactly the same, you can do that. But I didn't feel like I needed to do that. And then I'm going to take my scissors, and then I'm going to, we have a visitor outside, and I'm going to cut my strips like this to get ready to glue them onto my page. So just cut part of them now, put that aside. Now I chose orange for my piece to glue on. And then I have to find my, oh, there it is, my glue stick. So I'm going to use glue stick to put these down. What I did here was I made them each a little bit different. I did fold down the sides to make it easier to glue. But I took my glue stick and I put some glue there. And I decided this one will just be one big hill. I'm going to do it this way so you can see it. This will be one big hill. And my next one might be two hills. So I'll put some glue right here in the middle, pop this piece down, fold the ends to make it easier to glue them down, and I'll push this one up a little bit. And I'll glue that down, and I'll push this one up a little bit and glue this down. Now your glue stick may take a while for it to really stick down, because that's what happens. So you have to be a little bit patient with yourself. But I'll keep doing it just like I did on this one until I've filled my whole page with all of my strips. And then when I hang it up, it's a 3D piece of art. So many different things all in one. It's monochromatic, meaning it's all one color. We use shades and tints by adding white to get the tint and black to get the shade. And we also used organic and geometric shapes on here. So many different things. And then 3D, because look sideways, you can see it's popping out right there. And that is our fun piece of art. I'm going to go hang this up on the wall today. All right, thanks everybody. Remember, if you like this and you're doing it, would you just take a picture and have your parents send it to us? That would be really great so we can put it up on Instagram. Or if you put it on Instagram, you can hashtag us at Alameda Arts Fun. And you can also subscribe to our channel right here. I think it's right down below on this video. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you soon.
Bye, friends. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.